Hello everyone, I am here with Marc Evan Jackson. Many of you may know him from such television shows as Parks and Recreation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or even the film 22 Jump Street, out recently, or as the voice of Sparks, Nevada from The Thrilling Adventure Hour. But before we get into any of that, we are here to talk about the Detroit Creativity Project, of which Marc is the president. Marc, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my goodness, thanks for having me. Yes, welcome to New York Comic Con 2014.
Is this your first time here?
It's not. As a matter of fact, I was talking about it earlier. I think this is my third New York Comic Con, third in a row.
When was the last time you were here? Yeah, third in a row. Okay.
Yeah, third in a row.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was here last year, and this seems bigger. This
Yeah.
seems more intense.
It grows every year.
Yeah.
And we've watched it do just that.
Yes, indeed.
So, Detroit Creativity Project.
Yes.
Please tell us about it. I was doing some research about it. It sounds like a wonderful program for high schoolers and middle school kids who want to get into acting.
Thank you. It's a wonderful program for high schoolers and middle schoolers who want to do anything. The Detroit Creativity Project's flagship program is called the Improv Project, and it's a program that was started by myself and my wife Beth Hagenlocker, along with some friends of mine who we all got our starts in Detroit, primarily at the Second City. So it's people like Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele on Comedy Central, Mary Beth Monroe from Workaholics on Comedy Central, Larry Joe Campbell from According to Jim, and then some people that weren't at the Second City with us but were involved. People like Fred Lee Brown, who actually was the musical director at the Second City. He's now the musical director for Bruno Mars and his lead guitarist. And then Jordan Vogt Roberts, who's a director. He directed a movie I did, a small movie called Kings of Summer, and then he's directing the new King Kong movie. He's directing Skull Island, and he's going to direct the Metal Gear Solid movie as well. He's an up-and-comer. He's into it.
The long talked about Metal Gear Solid movie.
This is happening. But yes, so all of us were looking for a way to give back to the city of Detroit and to give back to the students of Detroit. And we all have our background in the art form of improvisation. So in about 2012, we got together, and since then we've formed a 501c3 nonprofit corporation called the Detroit Creativity Project to offer free of charge improv instruction in middle and high schools in Detroit. And we've taught over 700 students to improvise, and it's a skill that's for everyone. It's not just for kids that are looking to be in comedy or be in theater or be writers or directors. It's a skill that's good for everyone. In order to improvise well, you have to be overwhelmingly positive. You have to agree with what's going on. You can't be too cool for school. You got to get involved. You got to be willing to look silly and to play as a team and cooperate. And just a really lovely side effect of improvisation is that you come out on the other side being a more interesting person, being a more interested person, being a nicer person. And it's something that bolsters such confidence and is great for interviewing skills for college or for jobs. It'll impact the way you go into a test. It'll give you the freedom to ask a question. It takes away all the onus to be too cool, to know it all, to look, not being willing to look like you don't have it all together, like you're not the smartest, toughest one in the room. And you're going to ask some questions, and you're going to introduce yourself to some strangers, and your world's going to open up.
Cool. How often are the classes held?
It's a 10-week program, and in some schools, depending on the program, some of it's held during the day, some of it's held in after-school programs, but it's often once a week, sometimes it's twice a week, and it all culminates with a performance at the end, which is held at the YMCA of Metropolitan Detroit downtown at the Marlene Bowles Center, and the students come and they perform for their families and their friends, and they have a wonderful black box theater at the Y, and it's pretty remarkable. As a matter of fact, we were there in August for the Detroit Improv Festival, and the middle school students and the high school students performed as part of the Improv Festival, which was super exciting. But then after that, we brought them on stage with us to perform with Keegan-Michael Key and some of the, Joshua Funk and Naima Funk and Jamie Moyer. Really fun to watch these kids work with somebody like Keegan, especially, who's from Detroit. He's a guy just like they are, and for them to see what's possible. And it was really gratifying to watch them, perform with a dude that's a hero to them.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I could tell just by talking to how passionate you are about this project.
Everyone
it's
should
coming
improvise
through so clearly.
Old people, young people, rich people, poor people, it doesn't matter. Everyone in the world should take an improv class. Everyone could benefit from the gifts that improv has to offer. It is so liberating. I can't imagine my professional life without it, but I can't imagine trying to have Thanksgiving dinner with your family without having taken an improv skill. With everybody just kind of being crummy to one another and trying to one-up another and keep each other down. Improv frees you to enjoy other people's successes, and it's really a wonderful skill.
Great. Now, the most important question, how can someone get involved? Is it as simple as going to the website?
It is, yeah. And the website is accessible a couple of different ways. dcpimprov.org, Detroit Creativity Project improv.org, or simply detroitcreativityproject.org is a great way to do it. And on the website, you can find links to our donation sites. And we're such a lean organization. We don't have any administration. We don't have any overhead. We don't have any staff members. So nearly every dollar that gets donated goes directly to the students, goes directly into the classrooms, to the teaching of this program. And so $5 makes a difference. $20 makes a difference to us. It doesn't have to be, some giant bequeathment of tens of thousands of dollars. Anything that anybody has to offer means something. On the site, you'll also find some video of students performing, a little bit of an explanation, a further explanation than I'm able to give right now of the program. There are student testimonials, and you'll find a link to tickets for those of you who are in Los Angeles to come see Keegan-Michael Key perform live, which he's the star and co-creator of Key and Peele on Comedy Central. And he doesn't perform live that often, and he's hosting our party, the Detroit Party, on Saturday, November 1st at Largo at the Coronet in Hollywood. And we've got most of the cast of Silicon Valley joining us. Those are all friends of ours who have very graciously offered to come and help us out. So Thomas Middleditch, the star of Silicon Valley, is coming out. Kumail Nanjiani is coming to do some stand-up. And joining us as a musical guest is my friend Martin Starr with his band Common Rotation. It's going to be a great night. There are a lot more people coming to join us as well, and it'll be a really fun variety show that benefits just a tremendous cause.
Wonderful. I hope it is a rousing success.
Thank you very much.
Now, Mark, I can't let you get away without talking about Thrilling Adventure Hour.
I wouldn't let you get away without asking me about Thrilling Adventure Hour.
But I have to tell you this. As of July,
yes,
specifically San Diego Comic-Con, I knew next to nothing about
Is that right?
Thrilling.
Okay.
And the gentleman behind the camera right here
Dwight
convinced me, that's right, to go to the show.
Okay.
That weekend.
Thank you, Dwight.
And I was hooked.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And since then, this is going to sound super pathetic.
Bring it.
I have listened to the entirety of the podcast.
That's over 200, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Good heavens.
That's including episodes, fake commercials, question and answer sessions with you
Paula
and
Tompkins.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a long commute.
You must. Good heavens. That's days worth of material, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hours and hours and hours. But I was immediately hooked. I became an instant fan.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Went back because we had attended the Conversations for a Cause you guys did at Nerd HQ the following day at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, indeed.
And went back, re-listened to it because I'm like, I get all these jokes now.
Yes, you would have to, right? I mean, that's one of the downsides of introducing new people to the Thrilling Adventure universe, is that it is so very inside. I invited a friend for the first time, somebody that lives here in New York, came to the show at Largo, I think for a holiday show, and the opening bit was just, we played every character that any of us have ever played in the beginning 3-minute bit or whatever, and I just was so aware that my friend Martin was out in the house, positively lost, going like, what is this?
That was for the anniversary show, right?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, that's what it was, the anniversary show, yeah.
So how fun is it being Sparks Nevada on that stage?
I wish everyone could do it. I really do. I wish everyone could feel what that feels like, to sing that theme song and have the audience yell "pow" when you're saying, and I do it with a pair of robot fists. Like, it's insane. It couldn't be more fun. The writing that Ben Acker and Ben Blacker offer is so great. They offer us the freedom to, when something disastrous happens on stage, to address it, to incorporate it into the program. And, the people that they give us to work with, I mean, the Work Juice players alone are just superheroes. And then the guest stars are stupid great. I mean, it's been such a pleasure. It sometimes is mind-blowing to realize that we've been doing it for nearly 10 years.
Right.
Nearly 10 years. To be able to play a character as flawed and petty and delightful as Sparks Nevada is a dream come true. I couldn't ask for anything better.
I've had so much fun listening to it, and over a course of weeks, I learned the theme song and just, sang along with it.
That's great.
And
do you know it? Can you do it right now? You don't have to do it.
When there's varmints need a catchin' and young'uns need a savin', on my rocket steed I race across the stars. For I've sworn by the burrs of my astro spurs to right the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
I'll do this part. Yes, he rights the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
The hyper cattle's hummin', and the margin savage drummin' are as beautiful as comet bugs in jars. Oh, I'm from Earth,
Bum bum.
but I right the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
Yes, he rights the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
On the plains of the red planet I uphold the law, and I do it with a pair of robot fists. Pow! Evil extermination I have faced, for my robot rogues they hardly ever miss. But I reckon I'll be riding in the name of truth and justice for as long as I can count the shooting stars. For I've sworn by the burrs of my astro spurs to right the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
Yes, he rights the outlaw wrongs on Mars.
And I'm from Earth.
Hey, that was fantastic. What?
Thank you,
That
Mark.
was outstanding. I did not expect you to do that.
Like I said, I've listened to all of them.
I guess you may have listened to it before.
Yeah, quite a few times.
Good heavens. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to end off on.
There's not going to be a better one.
Oh, well, one last question. When are you and Paul doing another Q&A, do you know?
Oh, thank you for asking. Soon, I hope. Those are a great deal of fun. If for no other reason than, both of our lives are busy, and it's a really nice time to spend an hour hanging out with my friend Paul F. Tompkins. So I hope very soon.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to those just as much as the episodes.
We hear that.
So-
That's awfully kind of you. Thank you.
Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you. Truly, I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. I
Yes,
appreciate
you did. Thank you, Dwight. I'm Marc Evan Jackson, and you are watching Open the Fridge.